More often than not. Okay, Robert here. Um, let's get some housekeeping out of the way or a little announcements. I was able to register 2 different domain names this week, or I should say last week. One was Armed Vapor, and that will be my handle, and I have an armedvapor.com website. I was also able to register Life with Vaping. I wasn't able to register Vaping for Life, so I'm actually going to drop using that phrase. So either one of those will get you to my website, and basically right now I just have it set up to replicate the videos that I do for YouTube on that. Okay, so that's out of the way. I'm the Armed Vapor. Okay. Also, Vaping Cookie and I are scheduled to do a demo. I guess webcast. On VP Live Network. Okay, we're scheduled to do a show as part of a contest because they want to get more content running on Vapor's Place. And that's scheduled for October 5th at 9 p.m. We have no clue how this is going to work. So hopefully this come about. We'll keep you apprised. But again, October 5th, 9 p.m. on VP Live. Drop in, check it out. Cup of coffee. Okay, today. Okay, video is going to be about last week. I had some really bad vaping days, and one of them being actually on the World Vaping Day, which was last Thursday. So for like Wednesday and Thursday, really just crappy vaping days. Why is this, and what do I mean by crappy vaping day? Well, aside from equipment, twerking out or freaking out or just kind of doing weird stuff. Getting past that, it's like I couldn't taste anything. Nothing, no matter what I was vaping, whether it was on my K-Fun, whether it's on my Origin, whether it was on my steam machine, what have you. It's just nothing was, I couldn't taste anything. And what the hell is going on here? And I recall in the past seeing some video on YouTube somewhere where somebody mentioned something to that effect. And going, I must be going through that. I mean, I actually had to end up, my Old Faithful, my Origin Genesis atomizer, on my 69 mod, kicking it with the Kick 2, set at 15 watts. To really get any satisfaction at all. I came so close those 2 days of going out and buying a pack of cigarettes. I swear to God, I came so close, but I just stuck it out because I just couldn't taste anything. And I knew if I actually went out and bought cigarettes, they would taste like total garbage. And, I would break, I guess it was last Friday or Saturday was my 18th week without analogs anyways. And I'm so proud of myself. I just didn't want to screw that up. So, Wednesday was a really tough day. And I almost broke. Well, Thursday, if you've heard a video in the past, I may have mentioned that I go out to have lunch at a pizzeria. And I get plain slices, and I just load them up with pepper and put some salt on it. And I always use the hot pepper flakes on them. Hot pepper flakes, And, had my couple of slices, my Diet Coke, came home, and I noticed somewhat of an improvement in vaping, I'm going, that's weird. Is it that I'm, burning out my palate, with the hot pepper flakes? Could that be what it is? I don't know. I found also that there's a Jolly Rancher lemon. I sucked on one of those. And that even helped. So I'm wondering what's going on here. People, we need to get advice from each other as to when we're having these problems. I mean, we're all going to have crappy vaping days, whether it's equipment related stuff, and that's just our fault. We might have a crappy setup in something, or, our clear misers are just garbage and we got to clean them out of whatever, crappy vaping days. I mean, I think my last video, I don't know, one of my videos, my coil was all gunked up and it wasn't performing great. And I had to, burn that off and crap and, things of that nature. We got to share these tips. What do you do when you just can't taste anything? You got this vapor, but you're just not getting, you're just not getting satisfaction. Because the last thing any of us want to do is revert back, assuming that we've gone totally off of analogs. And I have no issue with people who are dual users, smoking cigarettes, vaping. I don't care. That's your thing. If it's, making you smoke less, that's a great thing. If you're off them totally, that's a great thing. That's up to you. But I'm off of them. I don't want to ever revert back. So it's like, we need to share what our techniques are. If we're losing flavor and we know our juice is okay, it's the same stuff we've been vaping, let's say, and our same setup, and all of a sudden, wake up one morning or, in the middle of the afternoon, it's like, what's going on here? Nothing's happening. So please leave comments. Please tell me how I can get over this hump on a bad vaping day. That's my, number one thing for today. What do we do? What do we do when we're having those days where things just aren't going well with vaping? By the way, I brought out the old IGO-L atomizer. Okay, anybody who's interested in getting involved in wrapping their own coils, doing their own thing, this is a good, low and cheap way to get into it. Little IGO-L. Okay. You can wrap it, any kind of silica thing on here. I have put in cotton. Here we go. I'm trying cotton. Now, I'm not sold on it yet. I'm telling you. I'm not really sold on it yet. But I don't know if you can see it. I have a microcoil in there. I'm reserving judgment right now on cotton. I did cotton into my K-Fun Light, and I was not happy at all with it. I really wasn't. And I guess I was impatient with it and ended up burning it because cotton burns. Silica doesn't burn. EcoWill I don't think burns. Certainly anything you put in a Genesis doesn't burn. But cotton burns. So if it goes dry at all, if you have a dry hit, you're burning cotton. And once the cotton burns, you're screwed. Then to empty this all out, disassemble it, and put in a new coil or put in more cotton, it's a pain in the ass. As good as the K-Fun Light is, all right, or K-Fun in general, they are finicky. If somebody says, oh, these are just a piece of cake, no problem. Yeah, it's a piece of cake to put in any kind of coil you want and any kind of, silica or cotton or whatever you want to do with it. But if they aren't just set up just right, okay, with your wick or your cotton just lying just right in it, I don't care if it's a microcoil or a standard coil on it, these things are a bitch, okay? Once it's set up right and it's working well, it's a very good system, no question, okay? But if it's not working right, you're going to have flooding, you're going to have dry hits, it's going to be a pain in the ass. But once you get a good setup in here dialed in, it's a very good unit, no question about it. It doesn't have, in my opinion, okay, my big round asshole there, okay, it doesn't have the flavor delivery as a Genesis, my opinion. Okay, but it does have the ability to take something. Let's say you have a e-liquid that you actually kind of like, but it's harsh. Maybe it's harsh for you, or it's maybe a little too strong, or it has an edge to it. You put it in this, it'll take that edge off, that harshness off, and it turns something that was like, oh, I like this, but I really can't vape it. It turns into something you can vape. Pretty cool. I have this running on my King Mod 18500 battery in it. I forget what it's coiled to. I could check. What the hell? right? I'll check for you. It never hurts to check stuff. I got my lava tube here with an Ego to 510 adapter, or 510 to Ego adapter, because it just doesn't sit right otherwise. 1.30. 1.30. That's what that's coiled at. This IGOL that I coiled with a micro coil and put cotton in is at 1.50. So, oh, I went kayaking on Monday morning. So I go, oh, I'm going, what should I bring kayaking with me? You know, I don't want to run the possibility of, you know, losing something nice in the water, you know, down somewhere in Crystal River, you know, wherever we went. But I said, hey, screw it. I'll go with my Arrow atomizer with my Bagua, my little Bagua, which is a 14500 Bagua. It's tiny, nice little system. This is also a Genesis. So I went with that. Thing works great when it's set up right. Okay, a little segue. I did try putting in a stainless steel cable in here. That just wasn't working out too well. It really wasn't. So I pulled it and put back, you know, standard steel mesh, and it works really well. And talk about finicky. Bagua. Okay, never mind. Maybe another video get into that kind of stuff. And deal with it like life with vaping. Okay, all the crap you end up finding out as you use these things, what pain in the ass things, part of them they are. But again, once you have everything set just so, okay, this is a little pocket rocket. And it works really, really well. So I took this kayaking. This is a group. I don't know, some sort of up where I am. It's a county newcomers, you know, group that my wife belongs to. I don't know what it is. And so we went on their first kayaking trip, and there was like 20 people. So here's like there's one couple I think that were going. Well, maybe two people that were riding together in one kayak. So you know there was like 18 kayaks plus the guide. You know, so let's say there's 20 kayaks out in the water. And of course, well, everybody's getting their instruction because this was the first time everybody was going out in this group. You know, I've been out with the wife kayaking before, but so it's like, oh God, you know, it's like I'm vaping on this and I see some odd looks. But also while I'm kayaking out on there, you know, I'd have it stuffed on, you know, secured in the life vest, okay? And I would bring it out every once in a while while I'm kayaking. Take a toot while I'm kayaking. And, you know, I'm not paying any attention to any people going around there, but the wife, when we got home, she's going, boy, you should have heard some of the comments I was hearing. Comments. I can't believe that person's out there smoking, you know, while we're kayaking. You know, it's like, oh, well, you know. But to be out on the nice nature, on the water, on a nice morning, and vaping and kayaking is, hey, you know, it's kind of cool. But, you know, when I mentioned this is not cheap, you know, so I settled on it because it was small. And hopefully hopefully I wouldn't lose it in the water, because this is not, I think this is like $150 for the Arrow. And the Bagua was, I think, $120, $140 in that nature. So this is not cheap rig. If this went overboard, I'd be kind of pissed off at myself. But be that as it may. But again, you know, once it's dialed in right, you get everything set up. It works very, very well. Let me take a toot on the. This is on my. The IGOL is sitting on top of my smoke magneto. Um, for a, and this is a tube, adjustable tube. So you can put in an 18350, 18490, 500, and kick both of those in this. You can put in a 18650. Yep, you can't kick that. And for a, and it's really inexpensive. For a mechanical mod, it's a magnetic switch, which can be a little wonky. Okay, you know, if you hit it dead center, not a problem. Hit it on the side, gets a little squonky and sometimes misfires. But all in all, fairly decent mechanical and cheap. You know, it's not like buying, you know, an Atmon Mixani 69. You know, excellent. A lot of money, excellent. You know, the King mod, excellent. A lot of money, but the King mod can be wonky too. But, you know, I don't want to eat up too much more of your time here this afternoon. I mainly wanted to concentrate again on, you know, when we have those bad vaping days when we can't taste anything, it doesn't feel like it's hitting at all. You see the vapor, you know, vapor production looks okay, but it's like you're just not getting it. You're not getting satisfaction no matter what. You feel like you're not getting the nicotine hit that you're supposed to. You're not getting any flavor worth a damn. It's like, how do we, what's going wrong with that? All right. If you have advice, please leave comments for me. You can contact me at Robert at Armed Vapor, ARMEDVAPER.com. Robert at armedvapor.com. Email me if you like. Leave comments down below. If you visit the website, it's there. Okay, it just basically has, you know, my blog videos there that I post up on YouTube. And as I think about what else I want to do with that website, fine. You can also get to that website with lifewithvaping.com. And don't forget, and I'm going to, you know, next video I'll tell you the same thing. Try to set aside October 5th at 9 p.m. and tune into the Vape Team. Okay, do a little search on the internet, Vape Team, and it'll point you right where you got to go. And Vaping Cookie, and hopefully myself will be on there at 9 o'clock October 5th doing our first demo show. See what happens. Okay, till next time, this is Robert, the Arm Vapor. Bye.